April 30th, 2025. Barcelona versus Inter Milan, Champions League semi-final. And honestly, everyone thought they knew how this was going to go. Lamine Yamal was making his 100th appearance for Barcelona at 17 years old. Inter's coach called him a talent born every 50 years before the match. The media had their headlines ready.
Lamine Yamal.
Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal.
No, Lamine the Dream was an absolute sensation tonight.
Wow, what a performance.
And the winner is Lamine Yamal.
This was supposed to be his night. Instead, a 29-year-old wingback named Denzel Dumfries scored twice, assisted once, and walked away with man of the match. The same guy the internet knows for one thing: never smiling, even when he scores. You've seen the meme, right? Final score was 3-3. Yamal got his moment. Dumfries got 3. And somewhere in between, we got one of the strangest battles you'll see in a semi-final. But here's the thing. How did the reject end up outplaying the prodigy? We'll get to that. First, you need to understand who these two actually are. Let me ask you something. What happens when football's next, Messi faces a guy who wasn't even good enough for a Dutch academy? You've got Lamine Yamal on one side. La Masia graduate, same academy as Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. People compare him to Messi constantly because of how he moves with the ball, that low center of gravity thing. And this was his 100th game for Barcelona. At 17, most players his age are still fighting for a chance to play. Then you've got Denzel Dumfries, 29, 6'2", plays right wing back for Inter, named after Denzel Washington, by the way. And yeah, the angry face. That's his thing now. Someone once asked him why he always looks mad, and he said, "It's just my game face." Fair enough, but it's become this whole viral thing where people joke that he's only programmed for football, not happiness. So you've got this contrast. The 5'11" technical player versus the 6'2" physical one. The kid everyone says will win Ballon d'Ors versus the guy who looks like he'd fight the trophy if it disagreed with him. But how did someone who got rejected end up dominating football's golden boy? That's where the backstories come in. So let's dig into that. Yamal's path to this match was pretty straightforward. He joined La Masia young, broke every youth record available, and became Barcelona's youngest player to start, score, reach 50 appearances, and now 100 appearances without any rejection or struggle phase. His game is built on those tight dribbles and making defenders look silly with quick touches. The media treats him like he's inevitable. Dumfries, though, he's a different movie entirely. Between 15 and 18 years old, he got scouted by major Dutch academies. Feyenoord looked at him and said, not good enough. They saw an athlete, sure, but not a footballer. So while Yamal was at La Masia breaking records, 18-year-old Dumfries was playing amateur football for a club called VV Smitschuk. And get this, he's Aruban and Surinamese, and in 2014, he was so far off the Netherlands' radar that he played for Aruba's national team. The Caribbean island. That's how far he was from being considered elite. He eventually got a chance at Sparta Rotterdam, then moved to PSV where he became captain. During COVID, he sent motivational messages to his teammates to keep morale up. But the 2022 World Cup is where things get interesting, and we'll come back to this later. For now, just know he scored and assisted against the USA, became a hero, then gave away a penalty to Messi against Argentina, and got sent off in the shootout. Hero and villain in the same tournament. When he joined Inter, his own teammates wondered what he was doing there. He lived in hotels initially, struggled to adapt, but he figured it out. And now, here he was, facing the kid everyone thinks is the future. Question is, would his past rejection fuel him or break him? The battle unfolds. The first half was Yamal's show. Barcelona kept giving him the ball and letting him work, and he was cooking. Federico DiMarco, Inter's left wingback, was getting destroyed. Yamal completed about 80% of his dribbles in that half. He kept cutting inside from the right, doing that classic move where everyone knows it's coming but can't stop it. Then he scored, received the ball on the right, cut inside, curled it past everyone. Beautiful goal. The stadium went crazy. Youngest goal scorer in a Champions League semi-final just made another record. The coronation was happening, so at this point, you're thinking Yamal's going to run away with this, right? Well, nope. Dumfries' first contribution was an assist. powered down the right wing, held off defenders with his body, delivered the ball to Marcus Thuram, who finished with a nice back heel. Okay, decent. But then came his first goal. In the 21st minute, corner kick, ball falls to him, and he hits a scissors kick volley. Not a tap-in, a scissors kick. You know, the kind of goal that requires technique. And when he scored, the cameras caught his face with the same expression. The match kept going back and forth. Barcelona attacking, Yamal threatening, Inter responding. Then Dumfries scored again. Header from a corner, out-jumped everyone, powered it in. Barcelona had no answer for his size on set pieces. That goal secured the 3-3 draw. And while he's doing all this attacking, he's also defending. 5+ defensive actions, winning aerial duels, covering the entire right side. Yamal was focused on creating in the final third. Dumfries was everywhere. Wingback versus winger. Power versus finesse. But here's the question. Why did the physical approach beat the technical one that night? What was the difference? Let's talk about what happened here. Why did Dumfries outperform Yamal when everyone expected the opposite? First thing, experience. Dumfries has been in World Cup quarterfinals. He's had battles with players like Theo Hernandez in Milan derbies, where they legitimately don't like each other and have gotten red cards. He's been doubted by his own teammates. A Champions League semifinal doesn't shake him anymore. Yamal is incredibly talented, but he's 17. He hasn't lived through those moments yet, and you could see it. Yamal had his moment, but Dumfries stayed consistent for 90 minutes. Second thing, that angry face is a real mental tool. He's said it's his game face, which means it's intentional. It's how he locks in. Remember that penalty mistake against Argentina in the World Cup? Everyone criticized him for it. But he didn't fall apart. He came back and delivered this performance in a hostile stadium against one of the most hyped teenagers in football. Third thing, rejection as motivation. Dumfries went from amateur football to Champions League man of the match. The scouts who said he wasn't good enough, he proved them wrong on the biggest stage possible. And by the way, in 2020, he led anti-racism protests in Rotterdam, said he felt compelled to stand up. That same fight shows up on the pitch. After the match, football Twitter basically exploded. The debate was pretty split. Who actually won this battle? Team Yamal pointed to his dribbles, the fear he created, how he made DeMarco look lost. On Reddit, people were asking, they gave man of the match to Dumfries just because he scored? Like they couldn't believe the award didn't go to the prodigy. Team Dumfries said football is about results. They argued he almost single-handedly kept Inter's season alive. And honestly, both sides have a point. Look, nobody's arguing Yamal isn't going to have a better career. He probably will. But on that specific night, the guy who got rejected beat the guy who got chosen. So, what did we learn from this? Dumfries proved something important. A player with the right mentality can dominate even the most talented opponent. His performance came from years of being told he wasn't good enough, of fighting through rejection, of building himself through high-pressure situations. Sometimes the player with something to prove is more dangerous than the player everyone expects to win. Never underestimate the guy who refuses to smile. If you found this story interesting, drop a comment. Are you Team Yamal or Team Dumfries? Subscribe to Beyond Soccer 5 for more stories like this. Thank you for watching.